Yes, this is the car that was gone.
Marred side by something that looks like a rock or a stone, something that was thrown inside. And we're going to get also pictures here coming onto the screen. So we see what happened there. If you are in the area in Mashingo, and to be precise, the area, Charumbira, do join in and let us know and help us to identify these people who are behind this attack. And briefly, here we're joined by the MDC Alliance chairperson for North America, Chief Joseph, tuning in live here. Chief, what happened here? Chief Chirugwitika, what happened here?
Simba, these are very disturbing scenes and acts of violence by ZANU PF youth. As you know, President Chamisa was visiting Mashingo to meet stakeholders there, and he was in the Charumbira area. And I'm told that the roads, as he was approaching, were barricaded by logs, stones, and rowdy ZANU PF youth came flooding, attacking the president's motorcade using stones and logs. Simba, this is very disturbing because we had Douglas Monzora in Mashingo recently, and he wasn't attacked. But we are seeing here President Chamisa's car, President Chamisa's motorcade being attacked, being targeted by ZANU PF youth. I think Simba, you're
I
on
was
mute.
saying, do we know the extent of the damage?
We don't know yet, but we have obtained an audio from someone who is on the ground. One of our reporters is on the ground, and we are going to play that audio and get the little that we can from there. But we are continuing to talk to the people that are there on the ground so that we can establish the exact extent of the damage. And of course, it's at this time we can safely say President Chamisa is safe. But as you can see, there's been extensive damage on the car, on his motorcade.
Right, and those who tuned in here via all our portals, including Twitter Spaces. If you are in Mashingo in the Charumbia area and you would like to notify us of any people that you identify who are behind this attack, please do tune in. And we are opening the lines here for people who know or can identify the individuals behind this violent attack, and not commentary, but literally those who have evidence that they can show, or at least names and details that can help to trace these individuals. Quickly, Chief, how many cars have been stormed? I think we've got a static image on the screen there. Admin, please help to be changing. Yes. How many vehicles have been stormed like this?
Yeah, quite a number of vehicles have been stoned. And I would like us at this moment to play the audio. If you can play the audio from someone who is on the ground, who is traveling with the president, so that we can hear what he is seeing and what is happening right now. But we'll keep in touch with him so that he can keep updating
President Advocate Nelson Chamisa was today violently attacked by over 200 rogue ZANU-PF members in Mashingo province. The President Advocate Nelson Chamisa's convoy and advance team on their way to meet community leaders in Charumbira, Mashingo province were attacked by ZANU-PF youth members. Their cars were stoned, roads were barricaded with burning logs, and assaulted members of our team who have now been hospitalized. Cars were seen ferrying the rendered ground and coordinating the attacks as violent thugs held up printed posters. My name is Setongi, reporting from Masvingo, Harare, Zimbabwe.
Wow.
So, okay.
All right, so we are coming to you live from our Zim Daily Studios. Following proceedings are happening in Masvingo. That is footage coming in from Change Radio, the MDC mouthpiece, as they give us more details of what was happening.
Yes,
I lost you for a minute.
Yes. Do we have human casualties?
Yes, as you heard there, Tongi saying that some have already been hospitalized. These people, Simba, meant business. These were not people that were just intimidating people. There were people that were hired to kill, people that were hired to inflict, maximum damage, not only to the vehicles, but also to the human beings that were there. As you heard that Tongi saying, hired crowd. It's a hired crowd that was actually being directed by people that were in vehicles, obviously ZANU-PF senior officials. So this was something that was premeditated, something that was planned, and the youth obviously hired to attack the person of President Chamisa, his motorcade, and the people that he was traveling with.
Do we know the perpetrators, the people who were traveling with the cars? Can we identify some? Are there names that have been?
There is a comment on Facebook, which from Membera Give More, which says Chief Charumbira is one who caused all these problems. It's just a comment, so I cannot.
Right, that's the comment here, but we need specifics here. And if we can get them right now, then we are in a good place. We have someone who's just joined in via Twitter Spaces here. And this is Wema Shingo. Wema Shingo, do you want to say something? I've just added you quickly. Wema Shingo, try to come in again. Right. Wema Shingo, did you want to tell us here? We are giving the floor only for people who say they were eyewitnesses, people who saw or who can give evidence leading to the identifying of the individuals behind this attack, or who might have knowledge that should help us to know what on earth took place here. Right. Right. Where are we on comments here?
Yeah, there's one. I am flashing the comments on screen if you would like to read them.
Sarah is saying Monzora Muzanu Ziripachena.
Yeah. How is the president himself? Was his actual car attacked?
I want to believe that's his car that we are seeing there.
Are you sure? Can you show that video again so that we are sure of which one it is?
Because these people were targeting President Chamisa. They were obviously going after President Chamisa's life. You know, you don't throw stones at cars like that if you didn't mean to seriously harm someone. And Simba, I would like to, think that the police should be busy right now. The job that you are doing of trying to identify the people that did all this should be and must be done by the police. And we need to get a comment from the police inspector or the authorities in Masvingo, so that we can get to the bottom of this case. We can't have people willy-nilly attacking citizens like this and getting away with it. The people attacked the president's motorcade in broad daylight, and they are on camera. The pictures are there. So it shouldn't be a problem really in arresting them and making sure that these culprits are brought to book, because the evidence is there.
Right. quickly, Chief, do we have someone who we can connect to here on the ground? I'm hoping here, if we can have one or two. Let me see if I can get a journalist here who is on the ground so we can get updates. Would you like to play that audio again, please?
The audio or the video?
The audio, both. Just start with the audio.
Okay.
And then quickly play the video
MBC
afterwards.
Alliance President Advocate Nelson Chamisa was today violently attacked by over 200 rogue ZANU-PF members in Masvingo province. The President, Advocate Nelson Chamisa's convoy and advance team on their way to meet community leaders in Charumbira, Masvingo province were attacked by ZANU-PF youth members. Their cars were stoned, roads were barricaded with burning logs and assaulted members of our team who have now been hospitalized. Cars were seen ferrying the rented ground and coordinating the attacks as violent thugs held up printed posters. My name is Setongi, reporting from Masvingo, Harare, Zimbabwe.
Yes, this is the car that was done.
Well, those are the cars there. As you can see, it's not only one. I managed to identify 3 cars that have been stoned, which means that these people really meant business. They were going for the kill. They really wanted to harm the person, obviously President Chamisa, and the people that he was traveling with. And it's shocking in this day and age, you know, where we have the so-called president of Zimbabwe, Mr. Mnangagwa, who has said that time, you know, he belongs to a new dispensation. There's no new dispensation that does this. We didn't see this all along. Now, in his new dispensation, so-called new dispensation, we are seeing people being killed, gunned down in the streets in broad daylight. We are seeing President Chamisa being attacked in broad daylight while he's going about his business as a leader of the people. You know, anyone should be allowed to freely move in Zimbabwe without being hindered, so this is really shocking, very shocking.
Right, so he's okay.
Yes,
I've got people asking there, is he okay? Is the president okay?
Yes, but as you heard, Simba, there are some people that have already been hospitalized.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Please go ahead on that.
It was there on the audio. You didn't hear that? Tongi actually mentioned that on the audio that some people have been hospitalized.
But can we get clearer details on that? I'm talking about here. What those people, who they are. I'm talking about their proximity to the president, so it can be assessed. You know how safe the president is, even though nothing happened to him physically.
Yeah, Estelle, I don't know if you can get a hold of Tongi.
Say Tongi. Let me try.
Because Tongi, the one who is giving us these reports, is right on the ground with the president. So we should be able to get more accurate information there. But Simba, what do you make of this? I mean, President Chamisa being attacked in broad daylight.
I'm seeing some parallels. I want to say I'm seeing some weird, very, very weird parallels here between Zimbabwe and Zambia. Of course, we could never really say that Zimbabwe is like Zambia, but I remember just a few months ago, 2 months ago, in fact, it was Hichilema who was being attacked like this. He was being stopped from passing through a city and all sorts of harassments around against him.
Simba,
yes.
I think we have someone on the line.
Okay, thank you.
Sir Tongi. Sir Tongi, hello.
Yeah, the area that he is has very poor network.
Okay.
I know that area.
All right. I can barely hear him. I can keep trying.
Yeah, keep trying. Simba, you can go ahead. You were saying something very important about Zambia, the parallels between Zambia. Simba, is still there?
Yes, I am here. Can you hear me now? So yeah, I was saying that I'm seeing some parallels here between these two countries. And it was just 2-3 months ago, it was Hichilema who was being stormed like this. And yeah, so many, he was being even being stopped from passing through certain cities or towns. And we're seeing videos of the dramatic harassment against him. And yeah, of course, we could we really say that Zimbabwe is heading the way of Zambia, or this is just Chief, in your view?
I mean, in terms of violence, I mean, yes, we can say that because we almost saw something like that in Zambia. But in terms of where Zambia is now, yes, we can still say that because I know the people of Zimbabwe are very, very convicted. The people of Zimbabwe want change. Everyone you talk to, everyone is now just prepared to make sure that Emmerson Mnangagwa goes away, because everyone is convinced that nothing new, no change is going to come with ZANU-PF, and certainly no change will come with Emmerson Mnangagwa at the helm.
Well, here we are. Chief, yes, I'm here.
I got Sir Tongi. He said he's going to give the phone to Comrade Ostalos Sisiba.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes. So there we go.
Yes, Comrade Ostalos, thank you very much for joining us.
Yes. Thank you very much.
And the question that people are asking is our president, is the people's president safe? And then you can go ahead and give us details of what happened.
Thank you very much. I can confirm that the president is safe. There's been an attempt on the life of the president by ZANU-PF militia in Masvingo. We had attended a program under our Citizens Convention for Change, where we're meeting stakeholders of the democratic alternative here in Masvingo. We had our first successful meeting, and we just had a decoy to go and pass our condolences to one of our comrades who is mourning the loss of his relative. And on our way, we then realized that our advanced cars was being attacked. And when we approached, also there were people, more than 200 violent and vicious young people who were charging towards the presidential motorcade and chanting slogans, ZANU-PF slogans, and denouncing the president. And we tried to obviously clear the way to exercise our constitutional guaranteed right of freedom of movement, because we are not a banned political organization. We're a constitutional party, a democratic party, fully registered at law in this country, and contesting for political office in 2023. So we saw that try and deter citizens, but also to try and get the president out of the presidential race because of the guaranteed and an inevitable democratic breakthrough in the next election. So yes, the president is safe, but there has been serious threat and attempt on his life. You saw the pictures that I took, that the president's car, where he was seated directly, was attacked by men and women who were carrying machetes and armed with stones and other tools of violence.
Simba.
So you're saying there, where the president was sat is where the vehicle was attacked.
Of course, the first attempt was on the advanced vehicle. The second attempt on the car that the presidential convoy, the car that is immediately before that of the principal, and then directly to the car where the president was seated. So this was clearly an operation that was planned, organized by very armed and financed regime elements with a clear objective to attack the person of the president.
Could I get that once again? The first attempt was on the advanced vehicle. The second one was on?
Yes.
Please repeat that. Was on the president's vehicle.
Yes.
Sorry?
The first attempt was on the advanced car. The second attempt was on the car that is immediately just before that of the president.
Right. And then what about the president's car itself?
Sorry?
Was the president's car attacked?
Of course, the pictures that I said, that is the car that is carrying the president. We are today.
Right. Could you please have the president's car on the screen, please?
But the car that was carrying the president was directly attacked. Clearly indicating that these people were deliberately planning to attack and harm the president.
Right. So could you please describe the damages? Are you able to, before you drop, just describe the damage on President Chamisa's vehicle? And I'm hoping that we've got them. Do we have the president's car on the screen?
We do have a car which is cream.
Yes, Simba, it's on the screen right now.
Oh, it's on the screen. So that's the president's car. So yeah. Honorable Stalos, can you please describe? Yes.
Attempt, and these people were following and chanting slogan and throwing stones towards the presidential motorcade.
Right, so they were following and throwing stones, yes, sir? Please go ahead.
So this is a clear attempt on the life of the president. It's a clear act of a regime planned assassination of the president. Because how can ordinary people, if these are people who are exercising their freedom of speech to express themselves as ZANU, why would you then attack the vehicle of the president? So this is a clear sign where people, they were chanting slogans. We saw this happening with Joshua Nkomo during a period just before Guguraundi, and we are seeing history repeating itself.
Right. So lastly, sir, is the president okay himself physically? You're on the ground. Explain to us, please.
The president is safe. We've taken the president in place of safety. He's been secured, but the regime in Harare is doing every tact and method to try and harm the president. It's a gear of violence. The regime knows of a possible electoral defeat, and the only thing they are trying to do now is to attack the leader of the alternative. So we remain clear in terms of the strategic direction and vision. We are going to continue with our program, the democratic movement, because we've got the task to liberate and lead our people towards a democratic breakthrough. And there is no struggle without bruises. This is what happened even to the liberation fighters under the Smith regime. This is what is happening to the democratic movement. But it's a clear sign that we are closer towards a democratic breakthrough. That's why the regime is unleashing its last tool on the shelf, which is violence. So our people must remain focused and undeterred, because we are very clear that ZANU-PF, by his attempt and shenanigans around violence, is creating certain grounds for instability.
As you go out, sir, let me ask you about the condition of those we understand have been hospitalized. We understand that there are people who have been hospitalized. Please let us know how many they are, who they are, and also what the condition of their injuries is.
Our comrades were in close protection who tried to seek conversation with these people were directly attacked, were beaten, so they've been hospitalized. And we're going to ascertain everyone in terms of the injuries and the extent that happened, because some of the cars had to then quickly ferry them to the nearest private place for them to seek medical attention. So once we've ascertained how many people and the extent of the injuries, we're going to communicate with members of the fourth estate.
I think I'm done, sir. I would like maybe to have people who are tuned into the stream would like to ask you questions, and we'll just accommodate 2 questions only, and then we'll let you go, sir. Let me see if we've got, and what would you like, Comrade Ostalos, would you like to connect with people on the ground who could help us to identify these individuals? Or you have already established who they are, what they were on about, and the like? I think I've lost him.
Oh, yes, he's dropped.
Oh, sad. Yes. Okay, right. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm done now. And we're streaming. We're also on Twitter Spaces right now. And we've got people here watching on Twitter Spaces. 135 people watching on Twitter Spaces. But quickly, I am done, and I wanted to give out the People's President Nelson Chamisa.
Right. So that was a brief update of what happened in Masvingo. Just in summary, as we close this conversation, this is the voice of Ostalos Siziba, the MDC Alliance Deputy Spokesperson, as he gave us a summary of what exactly transpired.
Thank you very much. My name is Comrade Ostalos. I'm the Deputy Spokesperson of the Movement for Democratic Change Alliances, led by Advocate Nelson Chamisa. We're in Masvingo, where we, under our banner of Citizens Convergence for Change, we had met with stakeholders of the democratic movement, because our annual theme this year is Citizens Convergence for Change, wherein we're organizing and mobilizing Zimbabwe social groups to be part and parcel of the change project, so that we map and co-create our future with those that will constitute the victorious forces to usher in a democratic Zimbabwe in the next election in 2023. So under this program of action, we meet with these groups like vendors, students, labor movement, the church, civil society, media people, non-governmental organizations, and other progressive forces that we have divided part and parcel of the motive forces to take this country forward. So when we met with our members today, we met with the leadership of the party. We then went to meet with other social groups, and we then at Ikoi to meet and pay our respect to one of our leaders who's mourning the loss of his relative. That's when we saw rowdy elements of ZANU-PF chanting slogans, ZANU-PF slogans, denouncing Advocate Nelson Chamisa and promoting Emerson Mnangagwa, indicating clearly that these are rowdy ZANU-PF elements, and also speaking the ZANU-PF anti-sanctions exhausted rhetoric. And they charged towards the car of the president. The presidential motorcade was attacked, a clear sign of an assassination attempt to the life of the president. And by the way, as the democratic movement, we don't take the threat to the life of our president lightly. We don't take the attempt on the life of our president as a matter which is not serious. We are a constitutional party registered in terms of the law in this country. We are not a banned political organization. We are contesting to attain political power and govern different. That is the central objective of the democratic movement. But ZANU-PF, knowing fully well that our 6 million campaign is gaining momentum in both urban and rural areas, and I want to affirm and appreciate our rural people for their solid support of the democratic movement, indicating beyond any shadow of a doubt that The narrative that the MDC is an urban party was demystified in Masvingo, where rural communities were clear and solid in terms of their support of the person of the president and the democratic movement as the government in waiting. So ZANU-PF is panicking and has removed its last tool on the shelf, which is violence, and we are conscious and aware of this. Is history repeating itself? We know how ZANU-PF unleashed violence against other possible threats to its hegemony and control over power. So we are aware and conscious of the responsibility and the scars of democratic movement. We bear these scars since the formation of the party in September 99. We've been in the forefront and bear the scars of being a democratic alternative. But we remain focused because the intention, at the end of the day, as defined by the founding manifesto of the democratic movement, is to lead and usher in a social democratic alternative to change the lives of our people. So this comes as a cost to our personal security, to the security of our leadership. It comes as a threat to the security of our people in rural areas and urban areas. So we are conscious of these realities, but we remain focused. We're going to continue with our programming to ensure that we converge as ordinary people and as the democratic movement lead a charge towards the democratic breakthrough. Thank you.
Awesome. So that was the voice of Comrade Ostalo Sisiba, the NDC Alliance Deputy Spokesperson, giving us a brief of what happened in Masvingo. We'll continue to bring you information as it comes, and we want to know who got injured, how many are injured, if there are any arrests that have taken place. So far, that information is not yet available. Thank you so much for joining us on Zimbabwe Daily. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day.